Working Interferences is intended for mature audiences. Since the hosts never grew up, someone needs to be the adult.
Welcome to Working Interferences with Lance
and Holly,
the dental advice podcast for the average dentist. Here is Lance
and Holly. All right, welcome back, Working Interferences listeners. I am Lance Timmerman.
And I am Holly Timmerman.
Oh, I don't get to introduce you.
With wine.
Yeah, we learned our lesson.
Sorry.
Sober Holly sucks.
I do not. No. Did people say that?
No.
Are you lying?
No.
Fuck off, all y'all.
So I learned my lesson because last week I pushed the button and you're all bitter that I didn't pour you anything. And I thought you were an adult, that if you wanted some...
That's not how it works around here, Dr. Timmerman.
So I need to write this down because I am usually wrong.
Yep.
As evidence with this guy. So this is our episode just before our visitors.
Yes.
I'm actually really, really excited.
So there's just so much. It's like every day Lance feeds me a little bit more information about this couple that is coming to stay with us.
Who are listening right now.
Which is fine.
Hi, guys.
But I'm like, okay, you needed to give me all the information at one time.
She's feeling really old right now.
Well, so I'm thinking that this couple is coming and they're roughly around our age. No.
Why would you think that? I never said anything about age.
Because most of our dental friends are roughly our age. Now we are the old people.
We are the old people.
And we are the age of his wife's parents.
Uh-huh.
So she could be our child.
Right.
That's a little bit terrifying. Second,
Christina's delightful. You're going to love her.
So Lance feeds me this information. I'm like, fuck.
What do you mean feeds?
Yes, you like trickle feed this information. Then the next thing I find out, she's a vegetarian. Okay, kind of makes sense because she's a vet.
Right.
But, okay, I am...
a carnivore.
100%. I will eat that shit. I don't even care. But, I mean, my sister-in-law was a vegetarian for a long time until I broke her. And
so you're saying this is a challenge. Next week, you're going to do everything you can to break her?
there's just going to be some adjustments. And I'm like panicking because we have them staying downstairs in the office, but the office doesn't even have a dresser or a closet.
Oh, the office is terrible. I feel...
And I'm like, where are they going to put their... So I'm like having like this weird panic now. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to just think it's horrible. And I don't have food in my house for a vegetarian. I probably have a cucumber in my fridge or something.
I don't want to hear about it.
Not that kind of cucumber. Not that kind of cucumber.
Okay.
So we're drinking wine.
Holly's a big fan of the English cucumbers.
So I'm one of these people that I like to entertain, but I'm also somebody who during Thanksgiving I could have 50 or 60 people at my house.
Not here.
Shut up. I could do whatever I want and it would be fine. And everybody would show up because I'd fucking beat them and they didn't have to do shit.
That's what I said.
But I like to make sure everybody's taken care of and is enjoying themselves. And now I'm super stressed out. In a good way. Don't worry.
Well, it's too late because they're probably listening to this on the airplane. So
yeah, don't worry. It's my issue, not your issue. So, which is most of the issues in general are my issues and not anybody else's issues. So it's a reoccurring theme in our life.
Is that what your therapist said?
Yes. BetterHelp. I don't know why.
You're not using BetterHelp. You're not doing it online.
I don't know why they haven't paid us to promote that because let me tell you, nobody's going to be like...
I reached out. They ignored my emails. Yeah, so
fucking assholes.
I will eventually break them down and get them to sponsor us or maybe get them to do our Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
So those that didn't know, I established a Patreon.
We do have a Patreon to help pay for all these microphones and our system and our extra computer and all this other shit. So
yeah.
So we can bring you the podcast.
If you guys are enjoying our show, we would really love some support.
Yeah.
So Patreon, I'll probably find a way to have some sort of link in the show notes.
Especially since I found out that there were some stupid dentists that were paying that idiot lady who was boom, boom, boom.
Those stupid TikToks that were.
Good Lord.
I thought you were going to vomit at the office when I showed it to you.
All I kept thinking
You're like, what the fuck is this?
I'm like, first of all, what's wrong with their face? Second of all, how is anybody watching this and actually giving her money? That's the thing that I don't understand.
Yeah. And this is, I told a listener, you know who you are. This is a safe space, and we weren't going to judge you.
It's not really a safe space.
Well, I'm not going to use her name.
No, we won't use her name or anybody else's name associated with it.
So that makes it safe.
It's still a safe space because we know who you are. And it is what it is. But are you going to say the thingamabobber, but you have to take everybody's names out of it?
I'm not taking anybody's names. I'm just not going to say their names. Okay. Ever since you joined the show, I've had to do so much editing.
I know, and it's fine. Everybody's fine.
You're fine.
I'm fine. You're fine. Everybody's fine.
It's all going to be fine.
It's fine.
So this week, essentially, this is an episode of AMA.
But did you die?
But did you die? Ask Me Anything is a common trope in podcasts. When people are just too lazy to come up with their own content, they put it out there to, hey, ask me anything.
Well, okay, to be honest.
Please be honest for once. Tell me about this.
I just think it's important that we bring you what you really want to hear.
That's what I said.
No, you just said we were being lazy.
It could be both.
Okay, maybe you're lazy. I'm not lazy.
I am very lazy. Or I want to be, but you make me do all these editing. You better bleep that out.
Yep.
Shit. You're right. Or you should take that whole segment, that 16 minutes right there, get that rid of. Just cut that out. Oh, shit. Now I have to listen to find out what 16 minutes you're talking about.
You know, the 16 minutes. But I think it's important that we talk about things that people actually want to hear about and share opinions about. Okay.
Yeah. So I did put it out there in a group to get some.
We got some great feedback.
Yeah, it was actually really, really good. Here's one that's outside. It's in the group, but it's outside of that question. I just really, really liked seeing this.
Okay, I'm listening.
So, listener says, patient, hey, can you make a note in my chart to only stick me one time? So the dentist, she goes, well, I can make a note, but it probably won't happen. I had to give you more than that one shot today because you said you weren't numb enough and could feel the pushing on your gums. I either get you numb enough by doing another shot, or you're just going to keep feeling it. So, patient at
you could just shut the fuck up and quit being a whiny little bitch.
Patient at the end of her appointment. I don't want to schedule the rest of my fillings.
Thank God.
And she's like, I fucking hate people. And I wrote, same. Yeah, I hate them too. I mean, so get ready for the 1-star review where they're going to say, this doctor sucks so bad she had to poke me more than one time. Well, that's called fucking anatomy.
Well, and that's the thing.
That's the thing? Wait.
So no, here's the thing. If you're using the wand, you might be able to get away with poking them one time.
Maybe.
That's what I said.
I heard the word maybe, but I wanted to emphasize the word maybe.
But realistically, you generally have to do a couple of areas especially if you're doing multiple fillings.
Yeah, well, depending on what you're doing, because like I do a Gow Gates, and so many dentists say, "Oh, I don't know how to do a Gow Gates. That's so hard. I'm unfamiliar. I'm uncomfortable." That just means you had a shitty dental program that should have taught you how to do a fucking goddamn Gow Gates. It's the fucking easiest shot to do, and it's the most consistent one to do. And the nice thing with the wand by Milestone Scientific.
Not an advertiser. Last time we're going to mention them.
You poke them one time, but I can put 2 to 3 carpules in that one poke. Because when it empties, we can then switch it out, leave the needle in place, put another carpule in there. Maybe you want to do Carbocan. You want to do a plain anesthetic so it doesn't burn. But then by the time it as a precursor, so that when you put the stuff that does burn, well, leave the needle in, same shot, same everything. Now you do your plane, and then you do your Marcaine or Septicane or anything that burns. They're not going to feel it because you already preloaded with the plain anesthetic.
Yeah, really and truly, if you have not tried out the wand, it's a game changer. Why are you laughing?
I have a friend who really hates the phrase game changer. I think he's a listener, so he may have just giggled with me right there.
Okay. Fuck off.
Kevin, love you.
Fuck off. But it is. I mean, I would say 99% of our patients comment on the fact that they don't feel you giving them an injection ever. So
not the first time I've been told no feeling during a poke.
That's true. True. But I mean, yeah, look at that as an investment, but also kick that patient out of your office.
Yeah, you don't need people like this. There's so many assholes out there.
You know, and I get you need to have income and you need to do work and you have bills to pay, but just being that fucking ignorant.
Yeah.
That's just the ice. That's a tip of the iceberg.
What's so weird is, I mean, we've had people call on the phone asking certain things. Will the doctor do this or that? Like, and when we say, well, yes or no, whatever the answer is, and they're like, oh, then that might not, I don't want to be there or something. Like, good. Thank God you called in advance so you didn't waste our fucking time, you asshole.
Yeah.
I run the practice with an abundance mentality, not the scarcity mentality. So I don't want every fucker that calls or every asshole that walks through the door.
Well, yeah, because
I need some. I got bills to pay.
Carry with them this toxicity of they're the provider, that they know better than the person educated.
Yeah.
And we had that
consult yesterday where her bite was off. She had some work done, and I said, okay. So I show her, I have the iTero, and I can show her where the occlusal contacts are. And the right side was hitting, the left side was really not contacting. And so I talked about equilibration. We could shave down this side. She goes, wait, no, why would you do that? I'm like, well, because you're hitting over here, not there. So if I shave this down, you will be able to now hit the other side. She goes, that's ridiculous. All you have to do is put some small fillings there. And I'm like,
you're ridiculous.
No, they would be crowns. She goes, no, from my research, it said that you can just do some small fillings there and that would be fine. And I said, how about based on my 25 years experience, that doesn't work. Looking at, you've already got huge fillings there already. Then next time they're touched, they're going to be crowns. So finally I just looked at her and she goes, well, maybe I need to go back to the dentist that placed them. I said, I think that's best. And I pretty much drop kicked her and walked out. I was about to just leave, and then I realized if I leave right now, it's going to get the 1-star review.
Well, you also were really smart. You did what we've talked about on the podcast where people are like, oh my God, you refer people out of your office. You handed her a referral.
Yeah, gave her a referral.
You were no longer her provider.
Yeah. So patient abandonment is if I just say, fuck you and walk out. But I gave a referral. So I'm not abandoning. I gave her somebody else. You can go back to your original dentist, or you can go to Chris Simmons downtown, who I actually do like him, so I feel bad.
Well,
but
he has gone into he's gone into business to take the crazies.
Yeah. He's marketing specifically for the people that are kind of nutty.
For the crazies.
Well, and this girl, she was relatively young. What did you say? 25, 27?
I think she was 26.
Okay. So she...
but she also couldn't keep her fucking schedule figured out. She'd already showed up twice to the office thinking her appointment were on different days, and she was not altogether there.
Well, and then when I was trying to get rid of her, I ultimately, any moment after the first 2 minutes, there was me trying to make sure I don't get the 1-star Yelp review or Google review or something like that. I'll probably will still get it, but
I don't know, because you gave her a referral and you basically told her, I feel like this is going to be the best person to handle your situation.
Well, I let her know. I said, you need to understand that if I did equilibration, you're looking at a couple $1,000s. If we're doing crowns, we're talking $6,000 to $10,000, and if we're talking a full mouth rehab, you're talking $60,000. I don't want to be doing $60,000. and I don't think you want to spend that kind of money. But no matter what you're going to do, if you're asking me to do anything, you're probably going to spend a couple $1,000s. If you were thinking it's maybe going to be a couple hundred, you need to go back to the dentist that thinks that they can do a fill. Oh, I did tell her, I said, okay, go ahead and find a dentist that thinks that fillings is enough. And then when that fails and you come back here, it's going to be several thousand for me to fix it.
Right. And she was like, okay. Well, she was a little taken aback, I think, by your eagerness to get her out of the office.
Yeah.
And
the people that think I'm desperate for
well, and that's
people?
the thing.
No. Is that the thing?
Drink, everybody. Pull it up. I got it tonight. And drink.
That is the thing.
That is the thing. You know, even if you have the scarcity mentality, don't fucking act like it. Don't let somebody talk you into something that you know is ultimately going to be a failure.
I totally agree.
That's when
you get in trouble.
Yeah, it never will work out for you. You know, it may work out one time, but then you'll get in the habit of doing it, and it will continue to happen negatively.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just be really, really careful. We had a patient in today, actually, who we had done Botox on. And
oh, Jesus.
Doc is very, very thorough with his Botox consultations. He has a PowerPoint that he makes everybody sit through that kind of goes over, well, not kind of, it goes over.
It's pretty detailed. I can't get out of there in less than 15 minutes.
Yeah, it goes over everything that the plastic surgeons recommend. And so
I have a slide talking about the minimum doses of muscles with the American Society of Plastic Surgeons have recommended.
Well, and he also goes through and he explains, you know, these are areas I won't do. I don't do this. I don't do that. So this lady comes in. First of all, she was like 70. I'm sorry. Botox really isn't your best bet.
She needs fillers or facelift.
Yeah, to get rid of your wrinkles.
Yeah.
You're old. You waited too long. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
But she comes in and she's like, my areas are moving. And he goes, well, I didn't even touch that area.
So the areas she was talking was kind of like the Spock lines or the quotation lines. So above the eyebrows and just slightly lateral to above the eyebrows are these lines that, you know, I'm not doing a brow lift.
It's a risk.
There's an area, certain area that that's no man's land. I'm not touching that area. Now I'll do your forehead, I'll do your glabella, but I'm not putting anything in that area that she was pointing to because that's where you get the droopy eyebrow.
Well, and that's when
so I told her I won't do it.
And he told her he would not touch that area when she was in for the consultation.
So we did the glabella, and I said, okay, this isn't really going to treat that area, but it should help your glabella. So 2 weeks later, she's calling saying...
No, it's been a month.
Has it been a month? Okay.
And she came in, and you went in there, but I thought you were going to wring her fucking neck.
Oh, I wanted to punch her. I wanted to punch her in the throat so bad.
I was like, oh my God, he's going to kill this old lady because she is too stupid to understand anything.
Well, so I went in there and she pointed to the area. I said, okay, we did your glabella. Go ahead and try to move the muscles. And they moved a little, but not much.
Well, part of that is she only wanted the 20 units on the Groupon and she's old.
Yeah, she needed more than just the 20, but it was a start to give it a chance. So anyway, I said, try to move. And then she says, yeah, but look. And she moves that area. And I'm like, right, that's the area. I told you I wouldn't touch that area. And then she goes, well, I've had it there before. And so I just finally went, then you need to go back to where you were because I'm not touching that. And she goes, well, fine. And she starts reaching for her clothes or her coat and her purse and everything. And I beat her out the room. I was gone before she...
He stormed out of that room and I was like, oh, damn.
Because I knew the longer I was there, the chance of me punching her increased every second I was still there. So I needed to get the fuck out before I murdered this woman.
There was a whole situation happening today at the office.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, well, she's dead.
Yeah, she is never to return. So...
Well, but that's... What I'm concerned about is so many doctors would have just given her what she wanted because they're afraid.
Right. Well, and that goes hand in hand. When we put the question out there, Phil Reddington, my buddy in Leeds, his question was, should dentists give patients what they want or educate them on what they need?
Okay, clearly you haven't been listening to the podcast, you dumbass.
Phil's not a dumbass.
But Phil's a dumbass because
Phil's awesome.
I have covered this topic
I love Phil.
like 4 times in the last 6 episodes. Stop being a pussy. Stop being a periodontist. Get your buttons under control, sir. Buttons under control. But educate. Stop taking the brunt of the stupidity. Educate your patients so that they know what is the best treatment. If they ultimately choose to go somewhere else, you don't want them. You want them to go as far away as possible because they are going to be an issue.
Well, he had a couple actually comments that went hand in hand with that, and I didn't read all of them to you. We had 102 comments.
Look at us. Thanks a lot for sending in the reviews, you motherfuckers. Y'all want the information, but you don't want to do the work. Fucking assholes.
All right. Now I got to find the ones that I mentioned. Well, I'll just do them in order just because.
We may not get to all of them.
Yeah.
If we do get to yours, Dr. Timmerman is going to give you a shout out.
Am I?
Yeah, because that's their price for participating in our.
All right. Papa Randy, where does cadaver bone come from? So, Holly, do you know where cadaver bone comes from?
Comes from cow? Is that what it's called?
Cadavers, actually. Dead people.
Well, cadaver bone, yes, comes from dead people, but like bone grafting material is what I was thinking in my head.
Well, he is talking about bone grafting, but we have allografts, we have autografts, we have xenografts. So,
got all the grafts?
Yeah. So, an autograft would be from a person, yourself. So it's an auto. You're giving. So if I was to shave part of your chin and use that bone elsewhere, that's an autograft. An allograft is still from the same species, but someone not you. So that would be dead people. That I see.
Ick.
But would they?
Ick.
So Puros,
murder.
maybe. So you might have. There was a question on Reddit we answered a couple years ago where someone's like, "Wait, do I have the ghost of a dead person in me? And are they going to affect me?"
It's a whole Sixth Sense situation. It's coming for you.
So I'm possessed by my bone graft. So they, so they do take dead people and chop up the bones, and we put the particles in you.
No, thank you.
Or now the thing is, it turns over within a few months, so that's actually better. Autograft is best, but allograft is better. So when people are asking you bone grafting, and you're saying, "Oh yeah, it's bovine or it's from a cow," sometimes if I'm using when I'm using a xenograft, the certain product I use quite often is
usually
bovine.
I say he usually uses bovine, but there are others that are mixed, aren't there?
No, I have to. Each one's going to be. It's either bovine, porcine, or human, or or I'm harvesting it from themselves.
I like that tacky stuff that you have.
The tacky stuff.
It's kind of wet and jelly. You used it when we usually use it when we do the all-in-4s.
I didn't use the putty on those, but I did use the xenograft. It was a bovine on that one. Came in the syringe.
Yes.
I pulled up some anesthetic to hydrate it, and it became kind of jelly or thickening.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
So that's bovine.
Way easier to control.
The downside is it takes 8 years to turn over. So, you may, like if I was doing a bridge and I want to keep the tissue plumped, what some people will do is they'll mix. They'll take some of the bovine and they'll put some of the human in there, because the human stuff will turn over while the bovine, it'll help maintain some volume, but depending on, if you were grafting, planning to do implant later and drill into that, it may still just be graft material when you go in. So that's why when we did our friend's implant, and I said, "Oh, what did they use?" And then when they found the other office, they said, "Oh, we used Puros." I'm like, "Oh, sweet." So it had been long enough; it had turned into bone at that point.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was beautiful.
So I was very happy that they used that because it meant I could use it. If they had said, "Oh, we used xenograft," then it would have been a crapshoot that I could place an implant at that time.
Do you know what Carl generally uses when Carl Johnson, we love him. He's
anybody
phenomenal.
that on Instagram, PNWOMS, that's his son, Ben.
And they are a good breed. That is a good office for oral surgeons that are,
Ben's been fantastic. Really good guy.
Well, his dad, Carl,
I'm a big fan of Carl.
Yeah, he's just a good guy all around. But Ben is his son, and he's just recently, in the last probably 5 to 8 years, joined his dad. And,
yeah. Because he's younger.
But I wonder, because they just have done a couple of implants that they're sending our way, and I was just wondering what kind of grafting they generally use.
Yeah, I don't recall.
I'll have to find out, because that would be interesting to know, because theirs seem to be pretty solid also. So,
sometimes it's the graft. Sometimes it's if they placed bone into native bone beyond the graft, then it doesn't really matter. So
this wine is so good.
Oh, that was one of the questions, and we're going to get there though.
Oh, okay.
So
let's finish this one about Papa Randy.
He just wanted to know. Tell me about cadaver bone and cadaver. Just meaning, are we talking pig cadaver, a cow cadaver, or human cadaver?
If it's a human cadaver,
cadaver just means dead body.
I would really like the background on the person. That I'm very spiritual, and that would really freak me out if they're like, so we're like gonna stick. Oh yeah,
you're never gonna know. I'll just put it this way.
It just gives me a little anxiety.
Well, I had one patient. There was some of the product is like a coral derivative is this bone graft. It's like beta tricalcium phosphate is going to be, I think they get it mostly from coral. Not that predictable of a graft. So just because you can use beta tricalcium phosphate, that's what we learned from Jurassic Park.
Exactly. And that Jeff Goldblum. Okay. I don't quite understand.
I love him.
And
that's why I had that book.
I know. I love him. Is just so popular with the women, and I just don't understand.
Are you calling me a woman?
Okay. Doctor, woman. It's the same thing. I do have to put a shout out. I do have to apologize. I'm going to say last week I was very critical about women in dentistry. And after I listened to the podcast, I didn't mean to be critical about women in dentistry, because there's some fucking rocking women in dentistry.
Okay. I don't remember you being critical of women.
But there's some really shitty women.
There really, really are.
Who take advantage of well-meaning women who actually really want to support one another.
Okay.
Are
we going back down that rabbit hole of that
for a minute
bitchy one from TikTok?
Yes, because
she's a moron.
I wanted to punch her face today on your phone.
Well, she has a punchable face.
Oh,
I'll admit.
My God. And I actually know how to make a fist.
You really do. You really do.
Motherfucker. But
ask me how I know.
And ask me how I know that you won't tolerate it. But I'm like, I felt bad, because there are some really kick-ass women in dentistry that really try to...
Like who? I can't think of any.
Tara Hardin, who I love.
No, Tara's great.
I love Tara. I love Jana.
Gyurina-Bever?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
The whole thing I can't say. And
Dr. Beaver.
And Bobbi
Stanley, yeah.
Who I love.
Smile Diva on Instagram.
Yeah. Those are strong women who, and also Erin Elliott, who want to build up women in dentistry. Mm-hmm. But there seems to really be a select few. There's a lot of women who want the easy road out of having to be a dentist. And that's why they're doing shit like this on Instagram and TikTok and all this other stuff. And they're taking advantage of the well-meaning women who really would like to support each other and are looking for that safe space to support one another. And I have a huge issue with that. But I don't want anybody to think that I'm a woman hater. I don't have a lot of female friends, but I'm not a woman hater.
Like 0, I think is the number.
I have my little select few tribe people, but
do you?
Yeah. But
all right.
I would recommend, especially women, because women are constantly looking to find their tribe, looking to find their people who they can relate to, that they can learn from, that they can build one another up. Mm-hmm. And this type of a person is so toxic ultimately because they make you feel less than you are. You need to...
Well, no, this person, she doesn't make you feel less than you are. She talks like you're a moron.
She talks down to you like you're a moron.
Well,
not realizing she's a moron.
Well,
because
like she had five reasons.
5 were exactly the same thing.
5 reasons why you should you own your own practice. And I'm like, wait, autonomy is the same thing as being your own boss.
But clearly she's too stupid to understand that what she's doing is toxic. And, well, she actually probably knows. That's
just doesn't care.
She doesn't care. And so,
as long as your check cleared, who gives a shit?
Well, that's the thing. Is she's going for those women that are desperately trying to connect with other women.
Face it, you're just jealous because she probably makes more money than I do.
No. I am not that type of a woman who gets jealous really easily. I mean, you would have to be fucking spectacular for me to be jealous of you as another woman. But that's just my own personality.
Okay.
But that's just so, there's better women. Look up Tara Hardin. Look up Jana, because I can never say her last name.
Gyurina-Bever.
Bobbi, Stanley. They're 3 of my favorites. And if you want to talk to an amazing woman who helps women promote themselves, look up Monica Klein. She is a follower of mine. I have known her for 15 years and she's a fucking rock star.
Well, her business is brand development and
for
empowerment.
Women
specifically women and things like that. So absolutely.
She's
great.
I mean, she is a fucking rock star.
Yeah.
If you want to know where to go there. Don't go to this other trash bag. God. And no, Monica does not promote me, neither do the other doctors.
Right.
I know them personally, and they are quality human beings.
Yeah. That's what I like most is just them being quality humans.
Yeah.
So here's Phil Reddington in Leeds, who is a big fan of Leeds United. Go figure. Is where he said, should we give patients what they want? And then Evangaline says, we're the biggest fucking enablers on the planet. Patients don't pay us for dental work. They pay us to convince them that their problems are not their fault, but we can fix them. That's what they pay us for. They really pay us for. Tell the patient the truth. Too audacious.
Maybe you should have a therapist in your office.
I ain't paying for that.
When you are diagnosing people. So when the people say, oh, that's not what I want. They say, can you tell me about that? Why don't you think that he doesn't know what he's talking about? Well,
no, I mean, like that case I just had to redo where she wanted them fake white. She wanted toilet bowl. And despite me telling that to my lab, what I got back admittedly wasn't toilet bowl, but my labs they know, they're like, dude, you don't do fake shit. This is what you meant. And they're going to blend colors and make it. They did a very artistic job.
And they were beautiful.
And it was awesome. And then my patient sends me a photo a week later going, these aren't as white as my cousins.
But her cousins, I am not even shitting
oh my
you.
Fucking
they
hell.
Were
chiclet bullshit.
Chiclet white. No anatomy. Completely smooth. And white as a piece of printer paper.
It was horrible.
Like no colors, I mean, I was like, does she know that her cousins look like shit? And they...
So she did agree that the shape that we gave her was better than her cousin's shape, but her complaint was at that point was only the color. And I admit, yeah, they weren't as white as your cousin. Hers looked I was very proud of her. So I made her wait a month. I told her, I said, look, I will do what you want, but I'm a bit too busy right now, so I'll see you. And hoping that 6 weeks later she was going to go, oh my God, I fell in love with them. You're right. Let me leave them.
Well, she fell in love with everything but the color.
Yeah, and so finally I'm like, fuck, I'm cutting them off. So I did. I didn't charge her for it. I knew that she's my billboard, and if I didn't make it awesome, everybody would know.
Yeah. Now I don't want her to tell anybody.
I don't want
them.
I know that. So usually when I do them that white, and this is only like the third time ever I've gone that white, I usually tell them, you cannot tell anybody where you got these.
Well, one time you did them that white, but it was because she was on TV.
No, my celebrity ones, those are fine. They should be as white as
yeah, but
they went.
I don't know anybody else that you made them that white for anybody. Other than people that...
that tetracycline case where she couldn't sleep at night because they didn't match the lowers, and then we did the lowers to match, and then finally she's like, they're just not as white as I want. So I made them... I took them off and made opaque white. It was... She's on the wall. It's one of the pictures on the wall in the consult room, kind of right next to my mom's picture.
I blocked her out.
Yeah, well, she ended up turning into kind of a crazy bitch, but...
they always do.
Yeah. It is. It's a thing. All right, so Zach, a longtime listener, why don't you use Apex? So I responded, I said, dude, I told the person in the email to just get me signed up, and then I got crickets. So
those were my eyes shutting very slowly in that pause.
I heard them.
I don't understand why when Dr. Timmerman says, hey, sign me up, you don't fucking just sign him up right then. Don't come back to me 90 days later and say, hey, why aren't you using my product? Because you're a fucking idiot and you didn't get him signed up. We've been talking about this for months.
Yeah.
Period.
It was, just sign me up.
Is this the same Zach that has the patient that uses the N-word?
No.
Okay, because I was going to say, dude, you have enough problems on your plate. Just mind yourself.
Different Zach, different spelling. Both great dudes. All right. Michael Hallis, or should I be... Dr. Nacho, friend or foe? I'm not going there. Just so you know, I don't eat nachos. I hate them now.
I don't know who that is. I don't know anything about it.
I know. My friend Mark, why aren't you part of MPI's fee-for-service journey online classes? New Patients Incorporated apparently has a fee-for-service journey online course that I didn't know of. That's why I'm not a part of MPI's fee-for-service journey.
Also, we've already been with New Patients Incorporated, and we didn't have great results. So,
well, we were only using one aspect of MPI, and that was just their direct mail. And I feel direct mail has a certain shelf life, and it has to go in rotations. And I think we had exhausted we need to move on to a different mailing list, different look.
But that's their job.
Okay.
Their job is to get us results. And when we're paying way too much money for zero results.
That's hard to quantify, though. I think we were getting results. We weren't getting zero. We just weren't getting what we wanted. And we just needed to, I tend to, like right now, we're not doing any TV. Every time I've done TV, I've had success, and then I get a diminishing return. And so I have to stop doing TV for a period of time because it just stops being useful. And then, so if I was to go back in, I think we would get some good results for a while. And so I think that we had just exhausted their...
All right.
So...
Okay, move on.
All right. Oh, we did go. I told you a little bit about this one. Buddy Izzy says, thoughts on guys getting into dental hygiene? Should we save that one, or do you want to take it?
I'm not going to make any fans
whatsoever. Let's skip it. Let's just skip it then. We have some strong opinions that many will agree with and many will disagree with. So maybe we should save that. you thinking?
We can address it, but
I have employed 3 over the years. I've had 3. One lasted 2.5 years.
Yeah, he was there a long time.
Yeah. Dustin was great. I liked Dustin.
He had the personality. He was much more feminine personality. He was a little bit more of a good transition from someone who always having a female to.
He reminds me a lot of Gail, our current high right now.
Very
just sweet, nice,
just very quiet and calm and gentle, and had just a very flow to him. But generally, what they need to understand is they're never going to be the doctor. If you're going to be a hygienist, you're not the doctor.
True.
So don't fucking expect to be the doctor ever. You don't get to be the doctor off of a 2-year education.
Well, some will point out that, no, it's a 4-year. 2 to get in and 2 to do the program.
Bianca could be in hygiene program from doing fucking running start.
Only if she took the right classes to get in and had she planned on it, not just, I've done 2 years.
But you're not going to be a doctor. It's not the same
You'll never
education.
be the doctor. No, I totally agree.
That is where you get into a situation where, especially if it's a male hygienist working for a female, that there's not gonna be the transition of respect.
I wonder. I don't know of any male hygienist working for female dentists. How that dynamic plays. I'd be curious to know some people's experiences there.
And when you get a male and a male together, they become more friends than coworkers, and the respect itself is lost.
I know that our second male hygienist
was an idiot.
In hindsight, I wanted to murder him. He had his own way and thought that his was the right way, and that's
what you get.
Yeah, and I'm like, you're not the fucking doctor. I came back from lunch one day, and all of the lab slips I have in a certain area near the sterilization area.
Because guess what? It's not my fucking job to fill out a lab slip. That's why
he moved them and put them all up front by the front desk.
Because that's where they should be,
according to him. And so I went looking for this. It just happened to be. I got back and I needed the slip, and I'm like, where are they? And then found out that it took all the stickers off of the
cupboard. The
cupboard itself. When you open the door of the cupboard, that I had labeled each level of the area, the cupboard, with which lab and where it was going and all that kind of stuff. He literally took the stickers off and put the stuff up front. I'm like, why'd you do that? Well, they should be up front. According to who? Well, that's where they should be. No, I put them there. It's my practice. I'm the fucking goddamn boss. I write your fucking goddamn check.
Guess what?
Fucking go there. If I say they're there, that's where they fucking go, you motherfucking piece of shit.
Well, that's the problem.
But I didn't say all that.
You get into this pissing war, and they don't respect you as their superior. They think you're their equal because you're both dudes in the dental office. That isn't ever going to be the thing.
Yeah, no matter what. I'm signing your paycheck. I'm your fucking boss. Who's in charge? It's fucking me.
And then you don't come and dump that shit on my desk and tell me it's my fucking job, because I will tell you where the door is and how to get to it.
Yeah. So he was there, 6 months?
Maybe.
Yeah, at most.
Let me tell you, if you have your front desk filling out the referrals for your hygienist or your assistant, you're fucking doing your job wrong, because who knows what the referral needs to be written for? Whoever it is in the operatory with you, they need to fucking fill it out, and then they need to bring it to the front desk. The front desk can then scan it into their chart, give it to the patient, send it over to the whatever office they're going to. But whoever is in that operatory with the patient and you is who fucking fills out the referral form. And then they put it in their notes that they fucking filled out a referral form. Thank you.
Thanks for coming to your TED Talk.
God, these people, it drives me crazy.
All right, Brittany says, hey, when will staffing stop being such a damn problem?
When you realize that you can do the job without them, you just don't like cleaning up after yourself.
There you go. Well, and Evangaline says, when people stop being lazy and living with their parents forever, so quite possibly never.
Well, if parents were motherfucking smart, they would move into a really small place like we did and then tell our girls, you'll always have a place to come in an emergency.
It's called the couch.
And then tell them the bathroom is 2 floors up. My buddy Dimitris in Greece says, why is Phil Reddington living in Leeds and not in the Shire? Yeah, Phil.
And he says, it's the capital city of the Shire, Yorkshire.
Oh, not a pudding.
Yeah, but it's named after Yorkshire, the northern part of England.
But isn't that really not a pudding? Isn't it a biscuit?
No, it's more, they call it pudding, we call it cake.
I think it's like a popover.
No, it's a cake.
I don't think so.
It's
Phil, inquiring minds want to know.
Tell us about Yorkshire pudding.
Because I think it's like a popover thing.
No, it's a cake. Whatever. I'm going to show you a picture.
Whatever. Okay, I don't need to see. What's next? What's next?
I was going to show you what a Yorkshire pudding looks
I
like.
can look it up later. I don't need to know right this very minute.
Fine. All right. Let me go.
Mr. Google.
Do you want to know or not?
Not this minute. I'm
Okay.
fine.
All right.
I'm going to stick with my popover situation right now.
We'll skip Arash because we already talked about that.
Which one is that?
We'll talk about making money in rural areas.
Dude, are you not listening to all the podcasts
Apparently,
in chronological
Arash
order?
does not listen.
Because we already
Son of a
talked about
bitch.
that.
David says to tell you how much he loves placing amalgam.
Go fuck off. Next.
Alex Wardian in Arizona says, hey, what's your favorite Washington wine that you've had? So this might end the show because you're just going to go on and on and on.
So it depends on what kind of wine you're talking about, because not all wineries carry the same grapes. So my favorite Uva Furem wine is their Carmenere.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, hands down, my favorite.
Not Moab?
No.
Okay.
And then if we go to Turtulia, I like the what's it called? It starts with the T. Tempranillo. And then if we go to Silvara, shout out to Gary, the winemaker. He is awesome. Most beautiful winery in Leavenworth.
It's actually in Peshastin.
Okay, well, fuck off. Just fuck off. Google it. It is beautiful. The views are spectacular. Gary is amazing. Their wine is amazing.
And what wine there do you like?
The Woodland Goddess.
Oh, that was the Dolcetta.
And I love the Dolcetta because it's the only winery that I have found that is making something with that grape.
Okay.
In the Washington area. So that's it. Those two are spectacular. They're absolutely spectacular. Then you come down to Kontos. Kontos Cellars is phenomenal. Otis Kenyon.
The murderous dentist.
Best story, great wine, always really sweet staff. Then we have Mark Ryan, who they name all of their wines after
rock stars,
or
grunge shit.
Yeah.
So
definitely Seattle-esque.
Stone Gossard is famous for hanging out at their tasting room in Woodinville.
And so you can always
I tried to go meet him one time because Billy Farrow was like, Stone's here. He posted it on Facebook. So I got in a car and drove all the way out there, and Stone was gone.
And then we have Pondera, which is my winery. And it has fucking phenomenal blends. We are known for our blends. We have a great Malbec. Our Cab Franc is one of my favorite. So it really depends on what you're looking for in wine, because I can certainly send you to the best of the best. Now, I am not a huge fan of the big, huge wineries out in Woodinville that mass produce.
Like,
I was going to say their name because I didn't want to shit talk them. But yeah.
Well, everybody knows. I mean, it's so freaking huge.
Well, right, but they can figure it out themselves if everybody knows.
All right, so you're saying I have to go in and bleep this?
Yeah.
Fuck.
But they have the best venue for listening to concerts and drinking wine. They're a great venue.
Tears for Fears, one of my favorite concerts ever. Right
Plain
there.
White Teas.
That was fun too with Daughtry.
Yep.
The open for Daughtry. That was a fun show.
But so it really depends on what you want. If you want to plan a visit out here, just let me know. I can set you up and give you the little where to go and what order to go in. The only big issue with Woodinville is you have to be really careful when you eat because there's not a lot of restaurants. Oh, the best claret in Woodinville is Matthews. Mm-hmm. They have the best claret. It's, so yummy.
Do they know their claret from their Beaujolais?
They actually do. I actually asked them that one time.
It's my favorite part of
But yes, we do love wine tasting out in Woodinville.
It's a fun place. How many are out there? Like 200?
No, there's 580 now.
Okay, so if you're trying to do it all in a day,
no,
you'd go to the hospital?
Yes.
Okay.
But there's Willows Creek out there, which is a hotel that's really centrally located right there next to Chateau Saint Michel.
No, so now you can say them.
Well, I wasn't talking to them at the time.
Okay.
Shh. It has a great spa and really.
Is that where Red Hook was?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you ever want to go, let us know. We'll go with you because it's really fun. Or I might be working at the winery. If I'm working at the winery, come definitely see me. We every once in a while have famous people that wander into our winery too because we're also an art gallery that attracts some of the higher end shoppers of Woodinville. But it's fun. I mean.
So here's another one that I think we should probably end with this one.
Okay.
What do you do when a patient agrees to treatment, signs a financial and treatment plan, and then calls to say they changed their mind after you have prepped and tempted them with the explanation that they want to see a less expensive dentist?
Well, because you haven't seeded anything, you're kind of fucked.
So Phil responded, remind them that you get what you pay for, and if they ruin what you've started by cutting costs with the final treatment, then when you come back, it will likely cost more to fix them, and obviously bill them for the work already done.
So that is an interesting...
I have some strong thoughts. So.
Well, I have strong thoughts, but I also know the legality of it.
Okay.
Because it's happened to us.
I know. I'm thinking of something that happened in December.
Yep. And basically, the legality of it in Washington State is if you haven't seeded it, you haven't done it.
Yeah. So while the common thing, and most people, they're talking single units. They did a crown, single unit crown. You can charge for a prep and temp. You can charge for basically for the temporary. Just because you can doesn't mean that's a good idea.
Right.
Because ultimately, since you didn't finish it, if you don't give a full refund, these motherfuckers can complain to the state, can make a board complaint. You might be right, but it'll take you 2 years and a lot of lawyers to actually prove this and have them agree with you. Even if they agree with you, you might still have to pay some sort of fine or legal fees or whatever. So the bottom line is, it's not fucking worth it to charge them anything. And there's enough of a red flag going on. Give them their fucking money back ASAP and wish them luck and just make sure they can never return ever again.
Right.
So what happened to me, what was worse is that $40,000 case, I did 20 units, 10 upper, 10 lower. She had an allergic reaction to her temporaries because when she came in, she was totally happy with us until anesthetic wore off, and then texts a message with a photo of her lips were swollen and things didn't look right. And so I'm looking, so I see the pictures. I'm like, this looks like maybe the Viscostat went all over the place or something, but this, it happens. And so she comes in the office a couple days later. I'm looking at it. I'm like, so what her complaint in writing, she says, I didn't seem all that concerned. Yeah, I wasn't concerned because this is a variation of normal. It doesn't happen all the time, but it certainly isn't catastrophic. And probably by the time I got the email, everything was already wearing off or whatever. She goes off to see a prosthodontist But she, at this point, according to her email, she had already got representation. So once you start bringing lawyers into this whole thing, fuck you. You're only going to communicate via my lawyer.
Right. Now we're done talking.
I'm done talking to you directly. And then she wanted me to just cut her a check. Fuck you. You use the third-party finance.
Right.
The money goes back to the third-party finance. I don't cut a check for you at all.
And she was like, no, I want the money. And I'm like, that's
Fuck
against
you.
the law. So we're not doing that.
So, and it's really nice to have a lawyer explaining that to her. She can't start saying, I know that, I'm going to do that, or I'm going to get a lawyer. Yeah, talking for him, I am a lawyer, so fuck you.
Right.
In legal terms.
So then that's, you need to be very aware that in the United States, you are guilty until proven innocent. Nowadays, you are no longer innocent until proven guilty. And you need to take that approach when you're dealing with your patients. If you have somebody crazy enough to start shit like that, walk away.
Just give them the money back.
Do not try to fight them, because ultimately, one way or another, you're going to lose. It's going to cost you a lot of money.
You've already lost.
Yeah.
They're making this stink. You've lost. Just cut your losses, give them their money back, and walk away.
But so she's like, I want you to give me the teeth.
Yeah, she thought I had the veneers done, and I just
Right.
So give me the veneers. Someone else will put them on, but I want my money back.
And we were like, nope.
Fuck you. I'll give you your money back, but you're starting from scratch wherever you go.
So she either to this day is walking around in temps still.
Not sure.
Don't even fucking care.
Yeah.
And
she's fucking dead to me. And here's she's a patient. She's been part of the practice for 15 years?
Well, she's been part of our practice for 15 years. And since 2011, she had been talking about having these veneers done. And then she had the gall to go to this prosthodontist and tell him that we talked her into it.
Yeah, she didn't really want them. I convinced her to do it. Oh, fuck you. I've got it in the chart for the past 10 years.
And
because I kept trying to say, hey, this is on the treatment plan. Do you still want this, or should I take this off? I'll delete this from the treatment plan. I don't want to keep nagging you. No, I really, really want this.
And
we have it documented, so fuck you. So it's raw enough. It still might blow up on my face, and I'm going to get a board complaint, and I'm going to have to defend myself.
Right. But
I've documented up the yin-yang. So
when the prosthodontist called us, he asked for just the x-rays and stuff, and we went ahead and sent him all of her chart notes so that he could see that she was lying to him. I'm actually hoping that he saw it as a red flag and didn't do anything with her. But because so many are so desperate out there to do the work, he most likely did the
Yeah, he probably did it. But I think usually when they say, send us your records, we have so many photos. I mean, I have a photo studio. I've got good documentation. If I'm going to be sending the pictures like I did, then odds are I know what the fuck I'm doing. So I have a feeling, I don't really know.
We haven't heard anything about it. We gave her all our money back, and we're like, good luck to you.
Yeah.
Fuck off, stupid cunt.
Yep. I'm not even going to bleep that.
Nope. She was 100%. But just know, if you haven't had a board complaint yet, it costs you money.
Even when you win.
It's a nightmare. And even if you're right, you're wrong. Because it ends up fucking up your life and being super stressful.
For sure.
But anything else over there, Doc? Because I'm out of wine.
We're going to just call it good on this one.
All right, people.
So rate and review us.
Rate and review us. If you haven't watched 1883, watch 1883. And we just watched The Adam Project, which was incredibly cute and very...
You said you hated it.
Yeah, but I really like Ryan Reynolds. He's very adorable.
Oh, he's fantastic.
But I also like Mark Ruffalo. He's super adorable,
he's awesome
too.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good cast. Very, very good thing. All right, so everybody needs to rate and review us.
Rate and review us. Check out our Patreon, because we have nobody supporting our Patreon because we just made it. So we're kind of like that loser group on the podcast website. But
so
super fun.
So if people wanted to ask you something directly, Holly, how would they find you?
They don't ever ask me anything directly. They're on your dental websites.
Well,
Facebook faces, and I'm not on those things.
They've messaged you. You can find us on all the social bullshits.
I am on Globetrotter Grub.
You're on Instagram.
Instagram on Globetrotter.
Your handle is Globetrotter Grub, but you're on Instagram. That's what I said. Where else?
That's good enough.
They can find me, Dr. Timmerman, DMD.
You can also message on Winterferences because I'm on there too.
Yeah. You kind of took over the account, so...
Not on Facebook, but only on Instagram because for some reason my Facebook won't let me participate on...
That's I'm going to have to look into that.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening over there.
So I thought this week is my turn. One of my favorite artists is Jaret Reddick from Bowling for Soup.
Oh my God, I was so excited. I did want to say something about this because it reminds me of when Seka was here.
Seka's our patient from Belgium.
And I'm like, do you have country music where you live? And she's like, yeah, like I'm an idiot. And I was thinking country western music.
Yeah.
And she was thinking
countries from her heritage. Yeah. So she's naming artists that were, from Bosnia. And we're like, wait,
I don't even fucking know.
I
love Seka. If you follow her on social media too, she's great.
Yeah, she's kind of a big deal.
But, God, I'm such an idiot.
That was funny.
I was super excited because Lance just showed me this yesterday, and I'm a huge country western fan. And Jaret.
And this song kind of goes in hand with our last comment of this patient of ours. So the Jaret Reddick made a country album. He's a punk rocker. Bowling for Soup's punk.
Says you're a cunt?
No, the song is called The Bitch Song.
Oh, okay, same thing. Just one's European.
Right. So... Jaret Reddick, he actually, Bowling for Soup had the song, the bitch song. So he countrified it on this album.
It's awesome.
And it's so good. So we're going to listen to the bitch song.
If you're not fans of Bowling for Soup,
we can't be friends.
Get it together, people. Just get it together.
You're just wrong. Get it together. So for Holly Timmerman, I'm Lance Timmerman. Peace.
Love you.
Is it okay if I speak to you today? You've been pissed off for a week now, but nothing I could say could make you look up or crack up. Is there anything that I can do? Anything to show you you're a bitch, but I love you anyway. Can't sing, but you still put me to sleep. Baby, you're a bitch. Hey, 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 hey. You make me sick, but don't ever go away. So you tell me that there's nothing left to say. I drive you face the window, and then you're in my face telling me to grow up. We should grow up. I can't wait until you fall asleep. I wonder